Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss about imports in Canada provincial wise. First of all, who am I? My name is Harsh and I'm a CTO currently, and my previous experience is a system administrator in IT, and currently I'm doing my postgraduate certificate with the Georgian College. So today's discussion is going to be on Microsoft Excel, MySQL Server, that is from Oracle, and Anaconda, that's working with Jupyter Notebooks, and I'm going to show you how to connect the SQL Server with Tableau for data visualization. So let's just jump into the action directly. So we're going to have a look at these slides first. So this is the Excel sheet, the raw data, then visualized data. This is with Anaconda, that's importing the data set first, then visualizing it using Matplot libraries. This is MySQL Workbench, that is the workbench for Oracle database when you're working with databases. Here's the database name and the table. That is the Tableau dashboard that I've created. That's the importation from MySQL from Oracle. This is the data set site where I've downloaded the data set from. So first of all, we'll just have a look at this site and understand a little bit about data sets. So this is the data set I downloaded, that's trading goods by importer characteristics by industry and related parties. And here by related parties means the provinces in Canada. And before you download any of the data sets from any site, you need to check about this, if it is licensed or not. Since this is an open data source, that means we can work with it, and here it is, using license information, and you're free to do what with this data set. You can copy it, modify, publish, translate, adapt, distribute, and otherwise use the information in any medium, mode, or format. So I'm going to really precisely tell everybody that you need to work with open data, then you need to check if there is any implementation with the licenses that require you to seek permission from the author of the data. So let's start with Excel sheet first of all. Here is where I imported the raw data, cleaned it, and converted it to a pivot chart. Sorry, a pivot table first, then I generated a pivot chart out of it. So by the chart we can have a look at the sum of all products. Okay, I saw there was an error with the title, so I just decided to change the title name. Okay, so with this data visualization we can check that Alberta is the highest consumer of imported goods, just physically, since it's it's almost 50% of the whole percentage. So let's go to my SQL, then I'll show you where or how to connect it. What are we going to need when you're connecting an SQL server to Tableau? You need the username. This is my URL, that's port number is 3306, this is my localhost, and open Tableau. You can see I created the connection as well and imported my imports table, since I imported my dataset in this database as imports, and we can have a visual look at it here. Here's all my data, then I connected it here, imported, cleaned it, created some sheet. This is the first sheet, second sheet, first visualization, second, third, and I created a dashboard, compiled all these sheets into one dashboard, gave it different properties and different names. Let's continue to Jupyter Notebook, and I have used NumPy and Pandas. Imported the dataset first of all, cleaned it, removed none values where applicable, then performed some description on the data, used the Matplot library to visualize two charts. That's the first one, this is the second one. This one is a scatter plot. Okay, that means so far. And what else can be done here? So in summary, this is what I got, that Alberta has the highest import rate with a figure of $2 billion, that is in dollars, and we can have a proof that it is showing that it's 50% of sum, the grand total. Compared to other provinces, it imports the largest number of goods or services from other countries. Now we'll just go for a walkthrough and see how the connections were made from Excel, how I imported my Excel sheet, that is. Just put my password here and import data from my CSV file or JSON file. Make sure it's a CSV file if you're working with Excel, since this wizard does not accept any other file type from CSV. So you can just select, for example, this dataset that I used, open it, then say next. Here you're given options to change the table name. That's it. We can change the table name to something else. For example, we can say test data and say next, and we're given this option here to select what columns we would like to import. So I would just use pretty much everything. I'll just import it, press next, show logs, so that you can see which steps are being executed. It usually takes some time here. While it's executing that, we can have a look at Tableau. That's once the table will be imported in my SQL server. That's my workbench. I'm working with Oracle Workbench. I'll just come and refresh this part and I'll be able to see my table over here. There it is, test data table. You can even bring timestamps, for example, and link it to the current table, but there is no need since there is no attribute that they share to create a relationship between the two tables. So I'll just remove it. I'll remove this one as well temporarily, or we can just view the data set inside it. Oh, there you see, it is successfully imported here. And we can have a look at MySQL Workbench as well. I think it'll complete it very soon. Yeah, it's done. So that was concluded very well. I hope everyone has got an idea on how to import the data from SQL Server. Just refresh it one more time. And we're done. This is like the total importation for the whole country. You can see count of imports at 270 imports worth $3 billion. So there is a lot we can do with this data set, but I'm just going to conclude it here today, and I'll say thank you everybody. I'll share my links here. This is the dataset link, my HTML file. I'll post the YouTube link here, and this is my LinkedIn account. If anybody has any queries, can get in touch with me. Thank you. That's my email if anyone wants to get in touch. It's like a next option. It's all lowercase, and this is my GitHub. That's you can click on this link and it will redirect you to a web page. That's my web page. Thank you everyone.